Welcome, everyone. We are so very pleased to be bringing you another play reading. I am Kathleen Kellaigh. I'm the artistic director of ATC Studios. Just a couple of words for those of you who are joining us for the first time. ATC Studios is dedicated to nurturing the creative spirit in everyone. And prior to COVID, we would provide live forums for playwrights and screenwriters to get their work read and in front of an audience. Since April of 2020, we have now moved that program to Zoom. And we are probably never going to go back to the absolutely purely live performances. We are very excited to be including all of you from all around the nation, in fact, all around the world in this playwrights process. Thank you so much for being here. Please do subscribe to our newsletter, and you can find the mailing list link on our website right under the About Us tab. As you may know, ATC is a 501c3. We are a nonprofit. So if you can possibly donate, we certainly appreciate it. These programs are free, but donations of any amount are so gratefully accepted. There are several ways to donate. You may go through atcstudios.org homepage and click the donate button, through Venmo at ATC Studios, through PayPal, or through Zelle. We are about to get going. So tonight's offering is Communist Manifesto, a short screenplay by Elena D Clark and Pierre Guy, based loosely on the short play Manifesto by Bruce Bonafede. The piece was directed from Italy, thank you Zoom, by Pierre Guy, and it features Elena D Clark, Susan Jane McDonald, Martin Prefferkorn, Samuel Barnes Jaffe, and scenic descriptions will be read by Kathleen Kellaigh. For a screenplay, so much is visual. So when we do readings like this, we ask the audience to please engage your imagination and follow along as the descriptions are read. Let the images come to life in your head. Running time is short. It's probably under 25 minutes. We are certainly going to be presenting this without an intermission. This type of film would be entered into short film festivals. So we are going to get going. Communist Manifesto, free adaptation of the short play Manifesto by Bruce Bonafede, by Elena D Clark and Pierre Guy. Scene 1, street, early evening at sunset, January 1848. We open with a pair of heels walking past the camera. We follow the heels with the street visible on the bottom of the screen and the woman's ankles on the top of the screen. The background is blurry as the woman walks. Suddenly, the camera overtakes the heels and moves forward rapidly. It stops in front of a building and flies up to the third window, stopping in front of a window. Through the window, we see two men in a room. One is sitting at a desk and the other is pacing in the center. The camera moves slowly toward the window. The title, Communist Manifesto, appears in the reflection of the window and disappears while passing through the window. Suddenly, we find ourselves inside. Transition to scene 2, early evening, Friedrich's room. Karl is pacing, thinking. Karl Marx, German, 30 to 40 years old, rumpled, long sleeve shirt with open collar, no tie, open vest that doesn't match his trousers. Long bushy hair and long bushy beard. Karl is often disconnected from what is happening around him and has difficulties focusing on multiple subjects. He is intelligent and sweet and has a tic of caressing his chin all the time. Friedrich sits poised at a table with paper and pen, ready to transcribe Karl's words. Friedrich Engels, German, 28 to 30 years old, dapper, wears a tie. His trousers and buttoned vest match. His suit coat hangs on the back of his chair. Long but neat beard, slicked back hair. Friedrich is a great admirer of Karl. Friedrich is obsessed with his hair being well slicked back and is constantly touching it, making it worse every time. Friedrich waits as Karl is in his thoughts. Friedrich is beginning to feel impatient as he sees Karl pacing and looking into the air, but nothing is happening.
Karl, please.
What?
Say something I can write down. The Communist League is waiting for this manifesto. You must get it done.
When is the deadline?
The deadline was last month. That's why we're here. We have to get to work.
Work? I don't work. I think. I'm an intellectual.
Karl, please.
Wait. I have it. A specter is haunting Europa. The specter of communism.
Excellent. Yes, that's excellent.
All the powers of old Europa have entered into a holy alliance to exercise the specter. Pope und Tsar, Metternich and Guizot, French radicals, German Polizeispies.
A little slower, please.
Where's the party in opposition that has not been decried as communistic by its opponents in power? Where's the opposition that has not hurled back the branding reproach of communism against the more advanced opposition parties, as well as against its reactionary adversaries?
Karl, slow down. Whew, well, you're definitely an intellectual.
Cut 2, 3, early evening stairway of the building. The front door of the building is opening abruptly, and the heels from the first scene appear. They start to walk up the stairs. The pace and energy of the walk up gives us the impression that this person is not happy. Cut 2, 4, early evening hallway in front of Friedrich's door. We see the heels arriving at the top of the stairs. The camera moves up from the heels to show us the woman. Marianne, tall, elegant woman, 25 to 30 years old. She has a sharp and charming look in her eyes. She is not happy. You get the sense that she is here for some sort of confrontation. The camera turns 180 degrees, and we see the front door in front of Friedrich's door. Their door opens a few centimeters, and we see half a face appear. The servant, not very tall, choppy, mid-aged woman. She looks a bit suspicious, but we don't know why. She takes care of serving, cleaning, and washing, whatever the needs are. She has a sharp and sexy look, but there is also something strange about her. We see the servant observing the woman arriving in front of Friedrich's door. The camera turns 180 degrees again, and the woman knocks on the door. Cut to Brussels, early evening, Friedrich's room, a knock on the door. They both look in the direction of the door.
Who could that be?
German Polizeispies.
We're in Belgium.
Belgian Polizeispies. We must hide ourselves.
They look at each other, then at the door, then back at each other with hesitation. Karl then runs around the room, opening closet doors, trying to find a place to hide. However, he discovers that there isn't enough space for his body. He then runs to the window and hides behind the curtain. Soon, he realizes that his feet are visible under the curtain, making it too obvious. In frustration, he leaves the spot and shuts the curtain behind him. Eventually, he discovers a safe place behind a large period chair to hide from the police. Friedrich watches Karl's struggle in awe, but starts to worry as well. He tries to take action, though not as creatively as Karl. Friedrich picks up books, scripts, and other objects and opens drawers to find a safe place to hide. However, he gives up eventually.
Come in.
The door opens and Marianne enters.
Marianne?
Marianne?
Yes, Karl, it is I, Marianne. Monsieur Engels, good evening.
Good evening, mademoiselle.
What is the meaning of this? What are you doing here?
I'm here about my birthday dinner. You remember it's my birthday? You remember you promised me dinner. You told me to meet you at the Blue Moon Cafe. I went to the Blue Moon Cafe. I wasn't even late. I must have come late. Just to make you wonder if I were coming at all, at least a little. You know, I used to do that in the beginning, but not now. There is no point now. Besides, I was hungry. Yet when I arrived, did I find Karl waiting for me? I did not. Nor was he there an hour later. And so I thought, perhaps Karl is being Karl. And instead of keeping his promises, he is off. Thinking deep thoughts. World-changing thoughts. But where would he do that? Where does Karl like to be while thinking his profound world-changing thoughts? Why, with Monsieur Engels, of course. And that is why I have come here.
It's your birthday?
Of course it's my birthday, you fool. We talked about it last night when you came to visit me in my room.
Cut to flashback. 5B Brussels, late evening, Marianne's bedroom. On a bed, we see Marianne sitting with her back to Karl, who is looking at the ceiling while Marianne is talking. Everything is a bit blurry, and there is no sound. We clearly see that Karl is in his own world without listening to a word that Marianne says. Cut back to scene 4.
Marianne, Engels is right here.
Monsieur Engels is aware I'm your mistress. He has known for some time.
You have?
What do you have to say for yourself?
Well,
I must take the blame for this. I have been after Karl for days to finish this manifesto for the Communist League. He is long past the deadline.
I'm not surprised.
that's not fair. Ending the exploitation of the workers is not as easy as you think.
Apparently easier than remembering my birthday.
With a swift, smart, sharp, and fast movement of her hand, she closes the hand fan. Karl observes the maneuver and is impressed, yet slightly scared.
You are right. My apologies, Marianne. I've been a bore. Come, let us go celebrate your birthday now.
Oh, you can't go now. We've just started to make progress.
But I promised Marianne.
And you promised the Communist League, so...
It doesn't matter. I have no intention of going with you to celebrate my birthday now. I have no intention of celebrating my birthday with you ever again.
You're going to stop having birthdays?
No, you fool. I'm done with you. Finished.
Finished?
I'm ending our affair, Karl. I should have months ago. I'm doing so now, once and for all.
But what will you do?
There is another gentleman who appreciates me more than you, and he wishes for me to become his.
There is? Ah, there can't be.
They can be?
I mean, Marianne, oh, Cherie, my dearest sweetheart, you mean everything to me.
Karl is looking at Marianne, and they exchange glances in that moment. For a moment, it seems like she might forgive him, but then she changes her mind.
Not enough for you to remember my birthday.
Oh, for goodness sake, Vinci, stop with the birthdays. The birthdays are only a bourgeois convention created to distract the proletariat from their oppression.
But Marianne, does this mean?
We, Friedrich.
Does this mean what?
Karl, I did not wish for you to find out like this, but I am the other gentleman.
What others gentlemen?
The one for whom I'm leaving you.
Really?
The door suddenly opens, and the maid comes in with a rolling cart with wheels, transporting tea and cookies. The wheels make a squeaking noise while rolling, and there is a deathly silence in the room. The maid does not look at anybody and rolls the cart to a small coffee table in the middle of the room, where she takes off the old tea and plates and replaces them with new tea and a cookie plate. In the meantime, Karl, Friedrich, and Marianne look at each other intensely. She then looks at Karl and gives him a nod before looking back at Marianne and giving her a provocative, very subtle smile. Then she takes her rolling cart and rolls back out of the room, closing the door.
You can't be leaving me for Friedrich.
And why not?
Well, he's Friedrich.
I beg your pardon?
I mean, he is mein compatriot, mein Kamerad in the struggle to liberate the masses.
He's also far richer than you, and he loves me.
You love her?
I do. I must confess it.
Well, I can't blame you. But really, Friedrich, stealing my mistress? It's so bourgeois.
I love her.
And I love him.
C'est vrai?
Oui. Français.
This is impossible. Marianne, you are essential to my work. You're my inspiration. Through you, I witness and come to understand the suffering of the proletariat.
I work in a dress shop.
Close enough. You must not do this. Do not desert me now. I am in the process of creating the founding declaration of a movement that will change the world.
You're always claiming you'll change the world. I don't want to change the world. I want to be with a man who remembers my birthday.
Friedrich, talk some sense into her.
Oh, I don't think I can be objective here.
But you know how important our work is.
Oh, of course I do, but look at her. I mean, she's an angel.
Angels don't exist.
It's a metaphor.
This is a terrible dilemma. If I am to articulate the basis of governing principles of communism in accordance with the tenets of dialectical materialism, I must have peace of mind. I must have Marianne by my side.
But Karl, now that I know that she loves me enough, I must have her by my side.
A terrible dilemma.
It's not a dilemma at all. I've made up my mind.
Wait. I have it.
Yes?
Communal property.
I'm not following. Please explain.
We will share her.
Share her?
Yeah, of course. We will share her in the same way the masses will share everything in an ideal society.
Are you out of your mind?
Don't you see, Friedrich? Just like the means of production, Marianne will belong to us both. To everyone.
Everyone?
Well, not everyone. I got a little carried away. But she will belong to us both, and we will share her.
Will that keep you working so we can finish this manifesto?
It will. It will free my mind so I can think the most world-changing thoughts.
While attempting to close the hand fan, Marianne breaks it in her hand. She is clearly very upset. The sound of the wood breaking echoes in the room, and there is a deathly silence.
Enough! I have no intention of being shared. I'm a person, not an object, not a thing. I will not be shared. The arrogance of you, men.
Our arrogance is based on scientific examination of history, as the private ownership of property is the basis of all class oppression.
Property?
Karl, that is excellent. Hold on, let me get that down.
Friedrich, do you accept this?
Well, I can see the logic of it from a historical perspective.
You're mad. I will have nothing to do with a man who can entertain such ideas.
But Marianne, we must all make sacrifices for the revolution. Think of the masses.
Friedrich is right. The masses.
Heaven help the masses if they ever listen to fools like you. Goodbye to both of you.
Marianne!
Marianne storms out. Cut to 6 early evening hallway in front of Friedrich's door. The front door is open violently and Marianne emerges. The door in front is open a few centimeters and we see the maid watching. Marianne stops for a second, fixes her gaze intensely on the maid, and the maid fixes hers back. We can't quite understand if they are studying each other, enemies, friends, lovers, accomplices, or what it is. The servant wears a similar handkerchief or another detail that makes her look almost like Saint Maria on the icon in the room. Marianne takes a deep breath and goes down the stairs while the maid closes her door. Cut to 7, Brussels, early evening, Friedrich's room.
There.
I don't know.
Read me back the last part. What's wrong?
I don't feel much like working right now.
We see a brief episode of terror caused by communist revolution. Blackout. Cut to the outro. We open on a big, old, brown, leather-covered closed book. The book covers the whole image. Suddenly, a left hand comes into the frame and opens the book slowly. The hand disappears out of the picture, and a right hand appears with an old black fountain pen and starts to write the credits of the film. First page, the title. Second page, a film by. Third page, adaptation by. Fourth page, actors. Fifth page, music. Sixth page, camera department, DP and camera crew. Seventh page, sound department. Eighth page, production. Ninth page, special thank yous, 10th page, and more. The right hand stops writing and disappears from the picture. The left hand then comes back into the view to close the book, and the scene fades to black. The end. Actors, please, please, please come on. Audience, you may unmute to applaud.